Hello everyone. We will have another topic which is about basic concepts of sets. So in this lesson, we will talk about basic concepts of sets, what it is, and how does it used in our daily life. Of course, students will also know how to operate sets through symbols and the Venn diagram. So we will discuss the Venn diagram later on. At the end of this lesson, the learner should be able to discuss the language, symbols, and conventions of mathematics, and of course perform operations on mathematical expressions correctly. Of course, with the use of sets. Let's proceed. Let's define first what is set in a mathematical term. So set is a collection of objects. These objects are sometimes called elements or members of the set. We usually call it as elements, but of course you can call it as members of the sets. Set is represented by the capital letter. Remember, you will always use capital letter to represent the set in the English alphabet. The word set was introduced in 1879 by George Cantor as a formal mathematical term. So he is George Cantor. Let's take a look of these examples. The first example is we are asked to find or asked to write about sets of vowels in English alphabet. So I think we all know how many vowels in English alphabet do we have. So for example, we will represent the vowels as V. Okay, so V is equals to, so what are the elements or the members of vowels? We have A, E, I, O, and U. So as you can see, I am using the parentheses to uh, to so these to symbolize that these are the values or the elements of the set, which is the vowels. I hope you understand this one. Let's have another example. X is the set of whole numbers less than 10. So in this part, the set has already name, which is X, or capital letter X. So what are the whole numbers less than 10? So we have, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We will not include 10 because in the given example, we are asked to find or we are asked to write less than 10 whole numbers. So here is how you represent the set. Actually, we can represent sets in two terms. We have the listing or roster method, which we had already did. Sulat lang natin ulit. For example, x is equals to 1. This is the roster method. For me, this is the easiest way kasi makikita mo lahat ng elements. So, in listing or roster method, you just enumerate the members of the set. So, ililista mo lang. Kaya nga siya listing method. In this second type, we can represent the set by the definition itself or by the definition by property. using the set builder notation. So this is the general uh, general definition. So X is a property of P. Halimbawa, ito yung ating ito yung ating gamitin. So we have, these are the sets. Whole numbers, this is the set where the elements are whole numbers less than 10. So you'll just write it in a word, as a word form. So X is equals to, so you will copy the X. This line, we read it as such that. Okay, such that. So it's a straight line. X such that X is a whole number less than 10. So yung parang given natin kanina, parang kukopyahin nyo lang in this representing, o in this number 2 type, kung paano i-represent yung sets. Again, from the word itself, you just define or describe the set using the set builder notation. Ito yung set builder notation, yung such that. Okay? Again, in the first one, you just enumerate the members, which we called it as listing or roster method. In the second example, or second representation of sets, we have the definition by property. So, i-describe nyo lang kung ano yung kung ano yung members ng set. At gagamitin nyo lang tong X such that X. Okay? So, I hope you understand this part. This time, we will talk about the real number system. I think you already discussed this in your lower year levels no high school. So, we have the real number system, and this is how we illustrate it. Let's start with, of course, real number. We represent it as capital letter R. Okay? So, lahat ng numero. That is the real number. There are two types of real number, the irrational and the rational numbers. Let's start with the rational numbers. We represent this as Q, capital letter Q. So, pag sinabi sa math na ang symbol ng rational numbers ay capital letter Q. Paano siya nagiging rational numbers? If there are two numbers, then you divide it, you get the ratio. Ang sagot niya is an element of real number, and the divisor or the denominator must not be equal to 0 kasi magiging undefined. Tandaan natin na any number divided by 0 is always undefined. So, kapag ang sagot is an element of real numbers, pwedeng fraction, pwedeng integer, rational number siya. Pero kapag ang sagot nyo, halimbawa, you divide the two numbers and then the answer can be decimal numbers, which are non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. So, irrational number siya. Halimbawa, yung number ng pi, 'di ba? This is 3.14, 16, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Mahaba yan. This example this is a decimal number where it's a non-repeating, ibig sabihin hindi pa ulit-ulit yung numero, non-repeating, non-terminating. Pag sinabing non-terminating, hindi siya natatapos, endless decimal number. Kapag ganito ang mga numero, it belongs to irrational numbers. Like what we discussed before, we have the E, the golden ratio, and so on. So, this belongs to irrational numbers. And it represented as Q prime. So, This is prime. Let's go back to rational numbers. Again, in rational numbers can be fractions or integers. Alam naman natin yung fractions. Anyway, fractions is also decimals, di ba? Ang 1/2, alam naman natin na ang 1/2 ay equivalent niya is 0.5. So, it's just the same. So, fractions or decimals. Then, we also have integers. Integers, mas kilala natin to as whole numbers. So, we represent integers as Z. Capital letter Z. Okay, it means this is the symbol for integers. And we have three parts of the integers. We have the negative integers. We can represent it as C, negative. Of course, 0, and then the Z, positive or positive integers. And then, of course, those are positive integers are also natural numbers, which is represented as capital letter N. So, yun yung mga magsisimula tayo sa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so, as long as, and so on. Bakit nahiwala yung 0? Ang 0 kasi, class, it's not negative and it's not positive integer. So, hindi siya belong sa negative integers, hindi rin siya belong sa positive integers. Parang in short, wala siyang sign. O yung sinasabi ng iba, kasi ma'am neutral yan. So, parang ganon. But it is considered as integer. Kasi 'di ba pag nire-represent natin yung kunyari, walang laman ang basket. Oh, so how many items inside the basket? Tapos wala kang makita. So your answer is 0, right? So that's how number 0 works in the real number system. Of course, negative integers are negative numbers like -1, -2, -3, and so on. This is the real number system. The next part will be sets or the cardinality of a set. So it is the number of elements in a finite set. Ano ba yung cardinality set? Ang sabi niya, number of element. Ilan ang meron sa isang set? Halimbawa, let's go back to our first example. Diba ang vowels natin? We have A, E, I, O, and U. So, what is the cardinality of the set V? So, V is equal to 5. Bakit 5? Kasi we have 5 elements. Diba? So, that is what we call cardinality of set. Example natin kanina, x such that x such that x is a whole number less than 10. O, ilan kaya ang cardinality nito? So, if we have numbers from 1 to 9, therefore, the cardinality of set x is 9. We need to include parang absolute value, ganyan, for us to symbolize that this is a cardinality of a set. So, kailangan nyo mag-include ng absolute value. Next, we have what we call special set. Yan, natakpan na isulat. I hope you read it. First one is the universal set. So, denoted by capital letter U. Tandaan ang mga symbol natin, ha? It's the set of all objects under a specific consideration. So, kung halimbawa, we have the set V, which is A, I, O, U. Yan din ang kanyang universal set. nakita naman yung red pen, sabi, set of all objects. Kung ano ang laman ng lahat ng set na yon, kaya nga siya tinawag na universal. So, that is considered as universal set. Pag sinabi namang empty set, this is denoted as this symbol or this symbol. Kaya nga tinawag na empty kasi it's a set with no element. Paano ba yon? Halimbawa, x is ganyan. So, walang nakalagay. This is considered as empty set. Walang element sa loob. Okay? How about if we have equal set? Set A is equal to set B, denoted as A equals B, if and only if A and B have exactly the same elements. Halimbawa, ito yung set A. Meron tayong 1, 2, and 3. Itong set B. Meron tayong 3, 1, 2. Napansin nyo naman, parehas na parehas, exactly the same ang elements ng A and B. Therefore, A is equal to B. Okay? Tandaan, equal set siya kapag exactly the same ang elements. Okay? Let's proceed. So, we have another special set, which is a subset and proper subset. Let's have first the subset. Set A is said to be subset of B if and only if every element of A is also element of B. So we use A and then this symbol. So this is represent as a subset to indicate that A is a subset of B. So for example, we have A, 1, 2, and 3. And then set B, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can say that A is a subset of B. Bakit siya naging subset? Kasi yung elements ng A ay nasa elements din ng B. So, pag sinabing subset, parang sa English, parang subtopic yung under niya. So, yung 1, 2, 3 na elements ay visible din sa set B. So, A is a subset of B. Now, paano natin malalaman na proper subset naman siya? A set A is said to be a proper subset of B if and only if it's a subset, of course, and A is not equal to B. We denote that A is a proper subset of B with the notation. So, kung mapapansin natin, ang bilang ng A, o cardinality of A, ay 3. So, diba, the numbers of A are, the elements in set A is 3. And the elements in set B is 5. So, alam naman natin na 3 is greater than, greater than, not greater than, less than. So, how can I erase this? Okay. Less than 5. Diba? So, hindi siya equal. Tama? So, we can also say that, therefore, A is a proper subset of B. Ulitin ko. Subset siya kapag yung elements ng A ay nasa elements din ng B. So, A ay parang subtopic, parang ganon, ng B. Proper subset naman siya kung, if and only if, of course, subset siya, dapat. Tapos, dapat hindi siya equal. yung A and B. So, that is a proper subset. I hope you understand this one. Let's proceed. Set A is equivalent to set B. So, this is equivalent sets. Denoted as A. So, ito yung symbol ng equivalent to B. If and only if A and B have the same number of elements. So, halimbawa, A is 1, 2, 3. Set B is 4, 5, 6. We can actually say that A is equivalent to B. Hindi importante na pareha siya. Ang important, pareha siya ng elements. Exactly the same. Kasi equal yun kanina. Ang importante, pareha siya ng bilang. Pag parehas ng bilang, equivalent set. Pagka eksaktong set, equal set ang tawag doon. Okay? Now, let's proceed to infinite. A set is infinite if it is not countable. So, pag sinabi diba natin infinite or infinity ay hindi nabibilang. Example, the set of natural numbers is an infinite set which are, diba, itong example na to, these are the natural numbers starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lahat ng whole numbers. So, if we are actually saying that n is a set of natural numbers, then it is an example of infinite set. Of course, yung mga example natin kanina, ang tawag doon, finite set. Pag sinabi naman finite set, nabibilang. So, halimbawa, ito, tatlo yung sets niya. Nabilang mo yung set niya. So, finite set ang tawag doon. Okay? Pag hindi kaya mabilang yung set, infinite set. Let's proceed to the illustration. Ito, mas magiging madali sa inyo kasi this is an illustration of those kinds of special set. This is what we call Venn diagram. A Venn diagram is a drawing in which there is a rectangle to represent the universe. So, ito yon. Ito yung rectangle na yon. Or the whole and closed figures. So, usually, circle ang ginagamit natin kapag under ng universal set. So, inside the rectangle to represent sets. So, let's proceed. Set difference. The difference of A and B denoted by A minus B. So, kaya nga siya tinawag na difference. So, A minus B is the set of elements in A. Nasa A siya, but not in B. Also, the difference of B and A denoted by B minus A is the set of elements in B but not in A. Okay, so it's just the same kung alin lang ang mauuna. Let's have the first one. So, sabi, nasa A, the A minus B. Nasa A, pero wala sa B. So, eto yon. Etong part yon. Eto lang siya. Okay? Why we do not include this part? Kasi, included siya sa B eh. Okay? So, these are the elements that in A, but not in B. Let's try to write it in the roster form or roster method. So, A minus B is equal to 1, 2, and 3 only. How about the B minus A? So, ito namang part siya. Okay? Dito lang siya. Kasi, hindi natin pwedeng isamang part na to dahil siya ay included sa A. So, this green part or green shaded is the B minus A. So, how are we going to write it in the roster form? So, the B minus A is equal to 6 and 7 only. So, that is the set difference. Next, complement of a set. The complement of a set is denoted by A prime, or for example, B complement, pag set B, is a set of elements in the universal set but not in set A, kung A prime or complement of A, or in set B kapag B complement ang hinahanap. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Kasama siya sa universal set pero hindi kasama ang nasa A pag sinabing complement of a set. So, halimbawa, 'di ba ito, part na to, of course, yung labas, automatic kasama sa complement yan. 'Di ba? Kasi, hindi siya belong sa set A. Okay? Yan. In your exam, you need to fill out all over the shade, the spaces. You need to shade those parts. Okay? Hindi ko lang siya ma-shadean dito. But, of course, this part, ayan, itong part na to, ay hindi rin A. Tama ba? Okay? So, ibig sabihin, the shaded part is the complement of set A or the A prime. Which means, in roster method, so A prime is equal to 6, 7, and 10. Okay? Lahat ng hindi kabilang sa A. Okay? Lahat ng hindi kabilang sa A or kapag sa set B, lahat ng hindi kabilang sa B. So, ganun ang complement of a set. Let's proceed to Cartesian product. When we say product, you are implying or you are doing the multiplication operation. Okay? So, yun ang ibig sabihin niya. So, given set A and B, the Cartesian product of A and B denoted as A cross B. So, we'd read it as A cross B. So, ayan. Is the set of all ordered pairs where A and B, where A is in A and B is in B. Halimbawa, if the set A has the elements of 1 and 2, and then set B is 3 and 4, then we will try to find the A cross B. So A cross B. Okay. So, kung gagawin lang natin, i-multiply lang natin sila sa bawat isa. So, let's start from 1. Okay? So, 1, 3. Yan. So, ito yung unang ordered pairs. And then, 1, 4. In the second element ng A, we have 2, 3, and then 2, 4. Yan. Okay. So, that is how we perform the Cartesian product. Next. I hope you understand this part. We also have ordered pairs. Yung kaninang ginawa natin, it's an example of ordered pair. Okay? But, given elements of A and B, the symbol denotes the open parenthesis A, comma B, ordered pair consisting of A and B together with the specification that A is the first element and B is the second element. Okay, so yung ginagawa natin kanina sa previous slide, so it's an example of ordered pair. Now, we can say that two ordered pairs are equal, for example, A, comma B, and C, comma D, if and only if A, the first element, is also equal to the second, the first element of this first set is also equal to the first element of the second set. So, ganun din sa B equals D. Let's try to look at this example. Pwede ba nating sabihin na the element 3, 5, 10 is also the same as square root of 9, 1/2. Let's see. Is 3 equal to square root of 9? Yes, this is correct because square root of 9 is 3. How about the 5 over 10? Is it equal to 1/2? Yes, this is equal because the lowest terms of 5 over 10 is also 1/2. Diba? Yan yung lowest term niya. Pag pinababa mo, parang ganon. Okay? So, again, ordered pairs is A, comma B. So, A is the first element, B is the second element. And their two ordered pairs are equal if the first elements is equal to the first element of the second set. Ganun din sa pangalawang set. Eto na. Let's try to solve this word problem with the use of Venn diagram and the special sets. 50 FSM major students were interviewed regarding two meat products used in cooking adobo. They prefer to use label A. So, naglagay na ako dyan. While you are reading the worded problem, you can actually draw it one by one. So, labeled A for chicken. So, yun na yun. And B for pork. So, kung chicken adobo ba or pork adobo. Sabi dito, 25 students preferred chicken. 25 preferred pork. 15 daw ang preferred ng parehas chicken and pork. Okay? The best tips that I can give to you is in illustrating the Venn diagram problems, start in the middle, in the intersection part. Kasi, para makapag-subtract ka na lang sa kung ano ba yung nasa labas, yung sa set A lang at sa set B lang. Okay, sabi dito, 15 ang both chicken and pork. So, dito yon automatic nandiyan na yung 15. Okay? Now, in the set B, which is pork, 25 daw. 25. Eh, the 15 is already choose pork. They already choose pork. So, how many FSM students do we need to have here para mabuo yung 25? Kung 15 na yung naunang pumili. Pero nga lang, both yung pinili nila. But still, they prefer to the pork. So, 10 na lang. 'Di ba? 15 plus 10 is 25. So, ito na yon. Okay? Of course, same procedure for the set A or the chicken adobo. 25 students preferred chicken. So, kung may 15 na bumili dito ng chicken, although pinili nila rin yung pork, there are 10 students that preferred chicken only. So, 15 plus 10 is 25. Okay? So, ganun yun. Now, let's try to solve these 3 questions. How many students preferred for chicken only? So, ito na yung chicken only. Di 10 lang, di ba? Ito natin ilagay ang ating sagot. 10. How many students did not prefer anything at all? Walang pinili. Paano yun? Saan natin makikita ang walang pinili? Okay. At first, there is the word 50. Okay? 50. Ang kanyang in-interview. So, kung 50 ang in-interview, at ang namili lang ay 10, 25, 35. 35 students. Ilan ang hindi pumili? So, ibig sabihin, wala silang preference. So, kung ito ay 35, may 15 na hindi pumili. So, nandito sa labas yung 15. So, the answer is 15. How many students prefer at most one meat product? Ilan daw ang students na pinakamadami nilang pinili? Isa lang. So, this is actually the set A only and the set B only. Which means that 10 plus 10, so the answer is 20. So that is the use, diba, ang dali lang magsagot ng word problem set if you are using the Venn diagram. Okay? So, I hope you learned a lot in this audio presentation, and see you guys in our next video. Have a good day.